This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for September 30th, 2024. The Minneapolis house where Prince's character in Purple Rain resided has now been transformed into a shrine for the singer from the 1984 iconic movie, and you can now stay in it through Airbnb. It's called the Purple Rain House, and it'll be available on the rental site for 25 one-night stays starting in October, with an added bonus. Wendy and Lisa, the Revolution members and Prince's co-stars in the film, are serving as the house's hosts, and the duo has curated a uniquely Prince experience for those lucky enough to grab a reservation. Lynyrd Skynyrd singer Johnny Van Zant has offered more details about the, quote, sudden emergency illness that caused the cancellation of several of the band's concerts, announcing they called off 4 additional shows, explaining that his daughter, quote, had a sudden emergency illness and that he had left the tour to be with her while continued testing, diagnosis, and treatment. He announced that she had a non-cancerous brain tumor that needed to be removed. Godsmack's 4th studio album, 4, will make its vinyl debut coming up on November 15th via Republic Records. The remastered album will be available on 2LP 45 RPM black vinyl, with additional limited edition marble vinyl releases as well. The band's 4th album features the #1 rock hit Speak and the songs The Enemy and Shine Down. And speaking of Boston bands, Aerosmith bassist Tom Hamilton released details of his new project, a band called Close Enemies, that'll make their live debut on October 11th at Eastside Bowl in Nashville, Tennessee. Joining the 72-year-old bassist will be his longtime bass tech, Trace Foster, who is playing guitar in Close Enemies, alongside Peter Stroud, who's been playing with Sheryl Crow for 25 years. Drummer Tony Brock, who was in a band called The Babies, and then played for Rod Stewart for 12 years. And fronting Close Enemies is Chasen Hampton, a performer from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with a strong background in the country music scene. Oasis announced the international cities that will be hosting their reunion tour. Specific dates have not been announced yet, but Oasis is planning on visiting Toronto, Canada, Chicago, East Rutherford, New Jersey, Boston, and Los Angeles in the United States, Mexico City, Mexico, plus Seoul, Tokyo, Melbourne, Sydney, Sao Paulo, Santiago, and Buenos Aires have also been announced as destinations. AFI have begun streaming the deluxe edition of their platinum-certified 2003 hit album, Sing the Sorrow. The edition features 5 B-sides previously exclusive to last year's 20th anniversary vinyl pressing of the album. Five Finger Death Punch frontman Ivan Moody fell on stage at the Louder Than Life Festival in Louisville, Kentucky, fracturing a rib and sustaining an injury to his hand. He said online, after the adrenaline wore off this morning, I woke up and I've got a bruise running down the inside of my armpit to my knee, and my hand feels like it's shattered. The band announced they were canceling their opening gig in Mexico City on Metallica's M72 World Tour so Ivan could recuperate. And speaking of the Louder Than Life Festival, day 2 of the festival was canceled due to extreme weather. Friday's date of the festival was supposed to be headlined by a reunited Slayer. Anthrax, In This Moment, Evanescence, Clutch, Fozzy, Alien Ant Farm, and more were also slated to appear. Lizzie Hale from Halestorm has confirmed that the band is close to finishing up their new album and that they're in the studio right now with producer Dave Cobb, saying, quote, we've had 3 separate sessions in the studio and we're making a record with Dave Cobb. He's actually a huge closet metal fan, so he's really excited. So we're making this great music, but we're constantly touring. So we've had like 3 different sessions in the studio. I'd say we're 70, maybe 80% there. We have a studio in our house, and I'm doing a lot of finishing touches on the vocals and sewing everything up, doing solos and all of that. And then we get back in December to just say, okay, is this good? And then, yeah. And then there we are. So we're excited about it. We really are. The music world is reacting to singer-songwriter Kris Kristofferson's passing over the weekend at the age of 88. Sammy Hagar saying, hey now, old friend, I hope the fishing's good where you're going. We're all going to miss you. Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine said, rest in peace, singer, songwriter, veteran, and working class hero. Dolly Parton said, "What a great loss, what a great writer, what a great actor, and what a great friend. I will always love you." Hundreds of popular music videos have been removed from YouTube in the United States over an ongoing copyright dispute. The dispute between YouTube and licensing company CSAC, who's recognized by the U.S. Copyright Office that collects royalties and helps protect copyrights on behalf of thousands of songwriters and publishers in the United States. The block affected several artists, including Nirvana, Adele, Green Day, Mariah Carey, Kendrick Lamar, and R.E.M., to name a few. The two companies' current deal is believed to have expired sometime last week, according to a YouTube account handler on X who wrote in response to fan complaints, saying our music licensing agreement with CSAC has expired without an agreement on renewal conditions, despite our best efforts. For this reason, we have blocked content on YouTube in the United States known to be associated with CSAC as in line with copyright law. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony for 2024 is taking place October 19th at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. Foreigner are being inducted this year with Slash, Sammy Hagar, Demi Lovato, and Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers planning to perform in tribute to the British group. Foreigner are also planning on appearing as well. The Who's Roger Daltrey and country superstar Keith Urban will be doing a tribute to Peter Frampton. Dua Lipa will be honoring Cher, and James Taylor will team up with country artists Kenny Chesney and Mac McNally for a Jimmy Buffett tribute. One of the biggest questions of the year is whether or not Ozzy Osbourne, who enters the hall for a second time, this time as a solo artist, whether or not he will perform at the ceremony. Appearances by Julia Roberts, Dr. Dre, Jelly Roll, Busta Rhymes, Method Man, Roger Daltrey, and The Roots are also scheduled to appear. And speaking of Jelly Roll, he was the musical guest on Saturday Night Live's landmark 50th season kickoff, singing the recent single Liar and a new song called Winning Streak, set to be released on his upcoming album Beautifully Broken on October 11th. And Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love's daughter, Frances Bean Cobain, and her husband, pro skater Riley Hawk, have welcomed their first child together. Frances Bean Cobain announced online that Saturday she and Hawk, the son of famed skateboarder Tony Hawk, welcomed a baby boy named Ronan Walker Cobain Hawk, saying, quote, "Welcome to the world, most beautiful son. We love you more than anything." The baby's grandfather, Tony Hawk, writing online, "My favorite grandson." By the way, he's Tony Hawk's first grandson. And that's your sit rep. For more details on all of the stories, check the links in the show notes of this episode. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Episode 225, featuring Mark LaBelle from Dirty Honey, is available now.